Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live stream. We're excited to be with you all tonight. Over the next few minutes, we are going to be going over a $3 Medicare plan that can save you all thousands. It's important to make sure that you have all of your coverage locked in place during this annual enrollment period so that when 2025 rolls around, you are protected and covered. It's AEP. So we probably have a lot of people on here and we'll have a lot of questions. And so we will generally stick around for an hour or so and answer questions from folks. So get them ready, put them in the live chat. We will do our best to answer as many of them as we can. Real quick though, tell us where you're tuning in from. Always love to see that. We are sitting in our MedicareSchool.com headquarters in Overland Park, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City. And we're happy to be with you all tonight. My name is Josh Music. This is my dad, Marvin Music. You all know him probably very well. Hopefully you've watched some of his videos. Let's see, Nebraska, Richmond, Virginia, Albany, Oregon, Chicago, Colorado, Seattle, Eastern North Carolina, Southern California in the desert, New Jersey, Lori from Chandler, Arizona, Steve from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Lennox, Ladd, let's see, Jeff Williams from Houston, Los Angeles, okay, there's too many. The Bronx, New Hampshire, Georgia, Maria, New Jersey, Tennessee. Wonderful. Westchester, Ohio. Welcome, Charles. Atlanta. Awesome. Well, we're happy to be with you tonight. I'm going to turn over my dad, and then we will, once he's done speaking for a few minutes, we'll go over questions. And just want to, before we do that, though, let you know, we started this company, my dad and I, about, we've been in the Medicare business almost 15 years now. And we set out with a purpose to educate people about Medicare. And then after people have an understanding of the whole Medicare system and all of the options that are available to them, we have a team of people that come to work every single day and just help all of our clients make sure they're on the right coverage. So if you need assistance, there's a phone number scrolling down here at the bottom of the screen, 833-833-3661. It's going to be down there the whole time. If at any point you want to call us and get a review of your plans, or maybe you're just now starting Medicare for the first time, we would love to assist you. So call that number. We've got a reception team that will be here for the next 2 hours, answering phone calls, scheduling appointments with our team.
All right, very good. Well, 5 minutes before our session started tonight, I was actually meeting with a husband and wife and putting them on a Medicare plan. And the lady asked me a very common question. She said, well, Marvin, I don't take any medications. Why on earth do I need to have a prescription drug plan? And I said to her, as I've said thousands of times, we don't get a prescription drug plan because of the medications that we're taking right now. We get a prescription drug plan in case we need something down the road that could be very expensive. And especially this is beneficial for 2025 because Medicare has put a spending cap on what we have to spend out of pocket of $2,000. So this lady takes no meds now, but if she got diagnosed with cancer or had some serious heart issue, she could easily be spending $10,000 a year, sometimes $10,000 a month on meds. But when we're on a drug plan, that goes away because Medicare, again, is capped what we'll have to spend out of pocket. So that's why you get a drug plan. Now, as we advertise this particular plan, $3, that's just one of many plans that are available in the market. And so I want to just give you a little bit of education. First off, I think everyone needs a drug plan. GoodRx is a great program, but it's not a Part D plan. Mark Cuban's group, Cost Plus RX, again, great program, but it's not a Part D plan. So everyone that eventually is going on Medicare, whether that's at 65 or you're retiring at 69, you need a drug plan. The only ones that don't have to have a drug plan once they've retired would be anyone who gets their meds through the VA, gets their meds through TRICARE for Life, retired military, or those that are retired civil service and have FEHB benefits. All those plans are credible. They don't have to have Part D plans. Everyone else needs a Part D plan. And so this year, there's been a lot of changes to the Part D plans. I want to talk a little bit about that. Number one, you're going to see a huge reduction in the amount of plans available. Last year, with some markets, we had 25 to 30 drug plans available. This year, the top is going to be about 15 different plans. There's only about 6 insurance carriers this year that are offering Part D plans. Aetna offers 1, United Healthcare offers 2, Blue Cross Blue Shield Anthem 3, Cigna has 3, Humana has 3, and Wellcare has 3 plans. So basically you have these 15 plans to choose from. And again, that's not going to be in every market. That's going to vary. And so as we look at this $3 plan or plans that are going to be very low cost, there's even some that are 0 premium, your low cost plans are good plans, but they're going to be kind of basic in their formulary. They're going to probably have about 2,500 medications or so that are available, which is going to be fine for some people. And so when someone's taking a few generics and maybe even a couple of ordinary brand name medications, those meds are probably going to be covered by the formulary. And again, most of those are going to be in the $0 to about $25 a month range. So you're paying a premium for the plan, and then your meds are going to be covered, and usually at very minimal out-of-pocket, low-cost copays. And then when we go above the $25 range, we're now going to look at plans somewhere between $25 to $50. Well, why would someone select that plan? Well, because they're probably taking maybe 7 to 10 prescriptions every single day, and all their meds were not covered in the formulary that was offered by the less expensive plan. And so some have asked me, well, if a $2,000 cap, what does it matter? Well, it matters because that $2,000 cap only applies if the medication is in the formulary. So the first thing we have to do is make sure our meds are in the formulary. Then we're going to get the benefit from that $2,000 cap. Now, the next range of plans is going to be a plan that has about 4,000 medication in the formulary, and these premiums are going to be anywhere from about $50 to $100 a month. And again, sometimes we have to choose that to get all the medications covered. And this would be someone that's taking anywhere from 15 to maybe 20 prescriptions every single day. We're probably going to need that broad formulary. All right, now let's go back. So you see kind of the different ranges of plans. Now, most of the lower range plans, again, $0 to about $20, including this $3 plan that we talked about, is going to have a deductible. And this is called the Medicare drug deductible. It's established by Medicare, and it's $590 this year. So if you're on some of those low-cost plans, what that means is that you are going to be responsible for 100% of the cost of your medications up to that deductible. In other words, no one's helping pay anything. You are going to be responsible up to $590. Now, many of you won't even reach $590. Your meds are so low cost, maybe $4 a month or $10 or $12 a month. You won't even get there. But the people that are on expensive meds, maybe Eliquis or Xarelto or some of these heart medications, you will probably get to your deductible at some point in the year. And once we reach the deductible, then we go to what Medicare calls the initial coverage phase. And in that phase, you just simply pay 25% of the retail cost, and you stay in that phase until you have reached $2,000 out of your pocket, meaning your meds will cost $2,000. And once you've reached that, whenever that is, that could be 2 months, 7 months, 9 months, but whenever, now you're done with any out-of-pocket expenses because that's where the $2,000 cap kicks in. And then you go to phase 3, which is called catastrophic, and you're $0 out of pocket. Your Part D plan pays, the manufacturer pays some, and Medicare pays for some of those meds as well. And so as you think about getting a drug plan, the most important thing is finding the formulary that is going to cover all the meds that you're on, regardless of that premium is $3 a month or $30 a month or $100 a month. It doesn't really matter. Get your meds covered by the formulary. And then after that, you're going to maybe possibly meet the deductible. If you do, then you'll spend no more than $2,000. But the good news about the $2,000 is the deductible is included in that. Your premiums are not. That's separate, but the out-of-pocket expense does include that deductible. Okay, so there's lots of plans available, and of course we write many of those plans, and as we help people go on to Medicare, you get your meds covered one of 2 ways. If you take a supplemental plan, you're going to have a standalone drug plan. And so we find a plan that is best for you based upon your meds and the pharmacy you want to go to. If you decide to go with an Advantage plan, that Advantage plan has actually embedded a Part D plan. It's part of the package. You didn't get to pick it. You just picked the Advantage company and plan. But the Advantage company actually included that prescription drug plan that still has the $2,000 cap on it, and sometimes the deductible is part of that coverage. All right, so that's kind of in a nutshell what's happening. And I do want to kind of give you a little advertisement here. I just shot a video. Daniel will be out maybe in a few days. Shot a video on all the details of the Medicare a prescription payment plan. Brand new this year. It's a little bit confusing as to how it works, and so I studied it out, and our producer and I put together what I think is a very, very good video that will explain all of that. That'll be on our YouTube channel. We try to put out at least one, sometimes two new videos every week dealing with the different topics that really are pertinent to Medicare and the decisions that you have to make. All right, as Josh said, we are brokers. We're delighted to help you. I do want to say, just to reiterate, our switchboard is open. So if you have a question that I don't get to or you need help right now, call us. We're Medicare brokers. We write for multiple insurance companies. Our services to you are no cost whatsoever, and we'd be delighted once you call in. We actually have 16 receptionists on duty, and they will ask you what you're calling for, and they can direct you live to an agent that I have personally trained that can help answer your questions and help you make some planned decisions. All right, enough of that. Are you ready for questions?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Do me a favor. He was talking about a video that's getting ready to drop on Sunday that's going to be all about the Medicare drug plan payment plans and how all that works. If you want to be notified of that, do two things. If you're watching this on YouTube, which I think most of you are, there's a subscribe button. It's free to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. And there's also a little bell, and you want to ring that bell is what they call, so click on the bell. And basically what that does is when you do those two things, you'll get a notification, a reminder that'll pop up somewhere saying, hey, Marvin's dropped this new video. So go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the bell. I'm going to ask you to do one last thing. If you got any value out of this, or if you hopefully will in a little bit, hit the like button on this video. And what it does is it lets, it's a thumbs up button, and it lets the YouTube gods know that, hey, people are enjoying this video, and it pushes it out to more people so they can also get the same assistance. So hit the subscribe, the bell, and the thumbs up button, and you've done all of your assignments for tonight. Okay, let's get to some questions here really quick. Scroll back. Okay. I have heard, Mama Duke says, I have heard different answers. Whether you choose a supplement plan or an advantage plan, can you switch at the next enrollment period?
Okay. So the answer to that is no. If you choose a supplemental plan, what happens in almost every state, that supplemental plan is written for life. And then after you've been on that supplemental plan for 6 months or longer, in order to switch from the supplemental plan to a different supplemental plan or a different company, you have to medically qualify to do that. So here's what I'm trying to say. This period of time that we're in right now, called the open enrollment period, or officially by Medicare, AEP, it stands for annual enrollment period. This 7-week period of time is designed specifically for those that are on Advantage plans, that want to switch Advantage plans or want to return back to original Medicare, and it also applies to those that are on prescription drug plans who need to switch those plans. And the reason for that is because both of those plans, Advantage and drug plans, are annual plans. That's it. They're good for a calendar year, which means the insurance company can pull the plan, improve the plan, decrease the plan, change the plan, whatever they want to do with the plan, and therefore you as the consumer have the right without any underwriting to be able to switch those plans, Advantage to Advantage, or change your drug plan. So if I have a supplemental plan, I follow under different guidelines. Frankly, the dates we're in right now have nothing to do with supplemental plans because you can change a supplemental plan anytime you want, but after that 6-month window of starting that plan, in most states you have to medically qualify to make that switch. Now let's suppose right now you're on a supplemental plan and you would like to move to an Advantage plan. This is the only time of the year you can do that. So again, I'm saying you're on a sup, you want to move to Advantage, you can do so between October 15th and December 7th with that Advantage plan going into effect January 1st. And some people are doing that right now. Others very happy with SUPs. So again, SUPs are written for life. As long as you pay the premium, those can never be canceled at all. Advantage plans are written for 1 year at a time. Drug plans written for 1 year at a time. And those can be canceled, changed, altered, all kinds of things. Right?
Yes. Okay. Please talk about Wellcare and what to do about it.
Okay. Well, when it comes to Wellcare, they cut all ties with brokers around the country, where we were one of them. The plan that you're referencing on, we put 24,000 people on that plan last year, and so there's millions around the country on the Wellcare plan. But they cut ties with brokers, so we can no longer service those clients as agent of record. Now, here's my advice. If you were satisfied with the Wellcare plan and your medications are still in formulary, then it is fine to keep the plan and let it automatically renew. Now, we have lots of our clients who have said, hey, I want you to help us, and you can no longer do that after January 1, so you have another option. And so we are giving out other recommendations on some other plans, and so some are switching to those plans. We're happy to do that for you. But again, I don't think Wellcare is a bad company. I think they made a bad decision. I will be frank with you in that 160,000 of us brokers have been helping service their clients around the country. And now all of a sudden they're going to take that on their own. When they had our help, there were still issues. And now I can only imagine what's going to happen. But again, I hope it goes well. I wouldn't frighten you from them. They're still going to be in business. I just think they're going to have more customer service issues moving forward. That's all.
Might spend some more time on hold. I think their call center's in the Philippines or something.
Yeah,
so
it's international call
You're going
center.
to need to go direct. If you're on a Wellcare plan, you're going to need to go direct to their call center. Brokers are just kind of cut out of the situation. If you want to look at plans to get off Wellcare, there's a number of good options that are available. And I actually go live every day, Monday to Thursday at 1 o'clock p.m. to talk about how you can shop and compare drug plans. And it's really easy. In fact, I will do live drug plan recommendations on the live streams. In order to get that information, if you're a client of ours, you're going to be getting a notification of that via email every day, or you can call into our number and say, hey, I want to get signed up for the live stream to learn about how to be on the right drug plan for next year. I'd be happy to do that. But that's at 1 o'clock every single day, 1 o'clock Central. Okay, next question. Mike Janus, where does one go if they want to help family members find copay protection plans if they are in an Advantage plan? Okay. Call us. Yep. Call that number on the bottom of the screen. That's scrolling along the bottom of the screen, 833-833-3661. And what a copay protection plan is, for those of you who don't know, it's a plan that kind of comes alongside an Advantage plan. Advantage plans can get expensive if you have cancer. They can get expensive if you have surgery or if you have a hospitalization, those sort of things. So what a copay protection plan does is it comes along that Advantage plan, and for maybe $30, $40 a month, you can have a plan that will cover you, write you a check for $5,000, $7,000 in the event that you have cancer.
Cover your hospital copays.
Yeah, cover your hospital copays. If you're on an Advantage plan and you're on the hook for $300 or $400 a day for the first 5 days, that's a $2,000 bill that you're going to walk out of the hospital with. And so it will cover those larger copays.
Yeah. So Mike, call in to the reception and tell them why you're calling in. They'll get you to an agent that actually can give you some prices. Sometimes people don't have to medically qualify for those, at least much. Sometimes there's a couple questions, but we'd be delighted to set that up for you. Let us know.
Okay, Brian Hendricks says, how much does it cost to have your services?
Okay. Totally zero. Whenever you use the services of an agent, whether that's us or really any agent, the insurance company pays us. You don't have to. And I always say it this way, when you go with us, you're not going to spend more money or save any money either. What you get is, we think, better customer service experience, knowledge, and help. You're just not a number to us. You're a person that we care about, and we're going to help you. But our services are zero. We don't work for free, but the insurance company always pays the agent. And it's no different than your homeowner's policy, your auto policy. The agent who wrote that plan gets paid by the insurance company. It's part of the cost of them doing business. So we are truly free for you. Now, one of the benefits of doing business with us, especially those of you that are just going on to Medicare, we do more than just write plans. We will actually help you get enrolled into Medicare A and B. Again, the appointment I just came from, the lady was coming in after 65, and I helped her with her SEP paperwork. I filled out her L564, I filled out her 40B form, and she has to get one to the employer, and they're both going to the Social Security office. So we actually will help you set up your A and B accounts properly to make sure it's done on right and done correctly. Okay, so keep in mind, we don't charge for that either. That's just part of what we do for our clients.
William Gregg, Josh, here's a good question. Which Advantage plans have a decent travel network in the U.S. for non-emergency care? Aetna, Regions, Providence, United all claim to have this.
Yeah, well, I'm not real familiar with as much with Regions and Providence as I would be Aetna, United, and I would say of those four, in my opinion, I like them all probably. I don't know much about the other two, but United is very extensive. They have quite a group. They're getting about 40% of the business this year across the board. So I would say United definitely would be the largest. Aetna would be very close to that. I wouldn't shy away from probably any of these companies, but you ask which one. So my answer would be United. Is that what you'd say?
Same.
Okay.
Lori M says, I went with a plan N rather than Advantage plan as the family has a background with cancer and heart disease, just transitioned from a 990 Aetna D plan, but skyrocketed to 45. Yeah, so that plan went up about 5x, that Aetna SilverScript plan. If you want, if you're a client of ours, you should be getting notification of this. If not, you can call in and get on the list. But I will go live Monday through Thursday at 1 p.m. Central, and I'll do drug plan recommendations. You just give me your meds, and I'll tell you what plan you need to be on.
That's good. Good. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's several options for you there, so I'd attend that.
Laura Price says, if I'm over 65 and have been on my work insurance, but now I'm retiring, do I need to wait until my birthday to sign up for Medicare?
Not at all. Okay, Laura, I was saying earlier, I just came from an appointment, and the lady is in your exact situation. So here's what, and we'd be happy to help you with this. So if you want to call in, we'll walk you through the process. But basically what needs to happen, you need to have an SSA.gov account. And we'd go into that account and enroll you into Medicare A and B. And in order for your B to start without penalties or problems, your employer is going to have to verify, or your spouse, whoever you've been covered by, the dates of employment and the insurance coverage. And that form that we use to verify credible insurance at work is an L564. And again, we'd be delighted to fill that out for you. And so the employer verifies that. Another form we use is 40B, and that paperwork will go into your local Social Security office, letting them know when you want to start your Medicare. So this lady I just met with, I put on the 40B form, please begin my Medicare 1/1 of 2025. So it's time to do that. So you don't have to wait till your birthday. It has nothing to do with your birthday whatsoever. It has everything to do with when your employment coverage is going to end. This lady is ending 12/31. So we set everything up to go into effect 1/1 of 2025.
Okay, let's do this one. I'm in Colorado using RP United Healthcare for 3 years now. I've been diagnosed and treated with lung cancer. Can I or should I change to another Advantage plan? So far it's working for me.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. I would stay, as long as the plan's in existence. United Healthcare has pulled very few plans, so I'd probably keep it. Your providers are familiar with the billing, things have been covered well. I would not do that. I think United Healthcare is a very strong company.
Maggie O'Connell, do any Part D plans cover Synthroid, the brand name, not the generic form?
Absolutely, yeah. So again, you want to watch Josh's webinar tomorrow. He'll explain that, but
not tomorrow, Monday to Thursday.
I'm sorry, Monday to Thursday. But anyway, so Synthroid's covered. Yeah, I just had one that I wrote, and Synthroid copay on the plan was like about $40 or something. So it may not be much cheaper than using a GoodRx coupon, but you want a drug plan. So just put it in the formulary that's what you're looking for, and some will cover it. Now others may just cover levothyroxine, which is generic, but there's plenty out there that will.
Okay, Maggie O'Connell, you just asked this question, but I want to say that she's coming from Facebook, so she's inside of our Facebook group. If you're not in our Facebook group, you probably should be in our Facebook group. So there's a group that we have. I think there's about 50,000 people. It's people just like yourself. It is managed by our team, and meaning we have a couple Medicare experts that are in there. But you can go in that group. You can ask questions, hear from real people on their experiences with plans and coverages and whatever it is. It's very active group. So I encourage you to join it. We're going to put it up on a banner here. It's in the comments. So you can actually click on the comment, facebook.com. Groups, Medicare schools, what it is. It should have just shown up in one of the most recent comments. But you can also go into Facebook and just look up Medicare school under groups and join that. We would love to have you join in there. My dad goes live every Monday night called Medicare Monday, talking to the people in that group about one important thing about Medicare, and then does a Q&A just like this. So we're really committed to education, really committed to publicly going out there and making sure people know what's going on with their coverage and making sure they're empowered and armed for the best coverage for next year. So, okay. Mrs. M2D says, how often can a Plan D be changed? For example, a doctor prescribed a new medicine that's not in your plan formulary. When can you change your plan?
Okay. If you have a Med Sup plan and you have a standalone drug plan, you can change those only once a year. And this time, October 15th to December 7th. And the new plan goes effective January 1. So here's what I would do. If doc does prescribe something that's not in formulary, you just simply do a formulary exception. And it's a request, it's a form you fill out, your doctor can do it, you can do it, and you submit it to the plan saying, this is the medication I need, this is why we need it. And so they'll do one of two things. They'll say, we'll approve it, we'll put it in the formulary for you for this year, or if there's a generic equivalent or alternative medication that's cheaper, they may ask you to try that first. That's called step therapy. Then you would step up to the brand name. So there is a way to get that medication covered. It just take a little extra work to do so. And I cannot tell you the last time I heard of a case where the med was not added. Now remember, it's not added to all their company formularies. It's just for you for that particular year.
Okay. If my Medicare Part B starts in January 2025, can I enroll in a Medigap supplement now, or do I need to wait?
Right now. Most states will let us actually enroll into a supplemental plan 6 months before the B date begins. Some states it's 3 months, so you're within that window, no problem. You can make those decisions, and I'd be doing that right now. Give us a call, and we can shop and compare and talk about the companies and the rate stability and all the things that really matter in selecting the right company for your G plan.
Dwayne Land says, is Allstate Plan G and D really good? So I don't believe Allstate offers a Plan D or Part D, but they do offer a Plan G, probably offer a Plan N, and yeah, they're great.
Yep.
Good carrier. Let's see. If you go on an Advantage plan, would the drugs prescribed by the doctors be subject to pre-authorization?
Some of them could be. All drug plans have some medications that are prior authorization. And that just simply means that before it's filled, again, paperwork has to be filled out saying this is why we need the medication. So these would be expensive meds or meds that are addictive in nature, could also require prior authorization. The way you know that, by the way, is when you look on the formulary, it'll tell you, does it have quantity limits? Does it have step therapy? Is there a prior authorization requirement? All that information is disclosed on the formulary.
Awesome. Okay. Tatin says, if I switch from BCBS Advantage to just A and B, can I add a supplement later without a penalty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sure can. You can add a supplemental plan at any time. The issue is if you're 6 months beyond your B date, in most states, you're going to have to medically qualify to do that. So if you're healthy enough to do it, I would do it sooner than later for sure. But yeah, there's no penalties whatsoever.
Okay. If a doctor prescribes a medication that is not preferred on a typical D plan, and the cost for the medication is just too much, is there a process in place with most plans that allow reconsideration?
Yeah. You can actually do an exception for the tiering. I have seen some of those go through. So they may move you from a tier 4 to a tier 2 or whatever. They can actually reduce the cost by changing the tier for you. So it never hurts to ask for sure. So I certainly would try that if you need to.
Okay, let's see.
It's called the tiering exception.
I'm just trying to find some there. What covers blood tests and radiology such as an MRI?
Okay, that's going to be Medicare Part B. So if you're enrolled in original Medicare A and B, then it's the B side. Anything that's going to be outpatient, these MRIs, radiology, all is covered by B. And then remember, if you have a supplemental plan, on the B side, Medicare only pays 80%. You're responsible for 20%. So if you had a G plan or an N plan, it would cover that 20% for you after you've met your small B deductible.
Janet Long says, without notice, my supplemental plan N increased from 88 monthly to 101 monthly.
Yeah, exactly right. So what is it, $13? I know it's disappointing. That's about a 15% increase, but I will tell you, Janet, that's pretty consistent right now. All the supplemental plans have experienced some real losses in the last 6 months to a year, and so the whole market has been adjusting. And again, I feel for you. We hate it too. But it is just a reality with all the medical inflation that has occurred, and then really everything after COVID. So many people started, getting their surgeries and different things they needed that were kind of delayed for a while, and so that caused a lot of the plans to have really more morbidity going on.
Raymond McGaw says, why would anyone want to move to an Advantage plan?
Okay, Raymond, the only reason that I would say is because if their financial situation changed and they could no longer afford a med sup plan on a monthly basis, then that'd be the only reason I would even suggest going to an Advantage plan. If it's not in the budget, you just can't live beyond your means. So the only benefit to the Advantage is that it is going to be a low monthly premium. But if you got sick, folks, I can tell you as a general rule, you're going to spend more on your Advantage plan out of pocket than you ever would on your monthly premiums for a supplemental plan. But sometimes people's finances change and they cannot afford it. That's the only reason that I'm aware of.
Okay. What is the $3 drug plan? We were talking about this Cigna Secure RX.
So is it Cigna RX Saver?
Yeah, RX Saver. Sorry. Yeah.
There's a lot of different plans. Yeah, Cigna RX Saver plan. I wrote one today in this market. It was $3.20.
Yeah. In some markets though, it's $16.
Yeah, you're right. It's not always that, but no, it's a real plan, and it varies from state to state.
Tom Goodwin asks, is medical underwriting ever needed to join an Advantage plan?
Never. The rules of the Advantage plan are only two. Number one, you have to be enrolled in Medicare A and B, and you must live in that plan's service area, which is a geographical area. And that's all you need to get an Advantage plan. No underwriting whatsoever.
Tara M says, is it possible to have an Advantage plan, a supplemental plan together?
No, it's actually illegal. You cannot do that. Yeah, it's one or the other. So when you make that decision, really that's what you're deciding. How do I want to use my Medicare benefits? Advantage or subs?
John Phillips says, Wellcare's customer service is poor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would agree with that. It just is. And when it's international call center, I'm telling you, international call centers are just, you never know. The people sometimes you can't understand them. And I think sometimes they don't understand Medicare, but it's cheap. I'll tell you just a real quick story about this. I love to go to India. I take missions trips there. I used to be a pastor and still involved in India. I leave Thanksgiving Day for 2 weeks. And my last trip there, I talked to one of the guys that was driving me around to these conferences. And I said, in America, we have people who use India call centers. What's a good wage in the India call center? And he said they make $100 a week. In Indian, labor in these call centers. So now you know why these insurance companies are doing that. They're making billions, and they pay those people $100 a week to take care of you. And that's why, by the way, just so you know, we have our own customer service department. When our folks have problems, they call in, we help them. Now, we can't do that in the future with Wellcare, but that's why we're committed to taking care of our clients. We don't want you to have that kind of experience.
Okay, guys, just mention again, the phone number is rolling at the bottom of the screen. If you want assistance from our team on choosing an Advantage plan, a supplemental plan, drug coverage, dental, vision, hearing, whatever it is that we can assist you with as it relates to your Medicare coverage, we would love to help you. Phone number is there, 833-833-3661. It would be our honor to help you. I do want to just put up here, David Warren says, many thanks to your office and especially Robert LaFrenz for helping me sort through all of my options. I decided to go with a supplemental plan through your company. Do me a favor. If you're a client of ours, can you do me one thing? Please write in that you're a client of ours and let us know the name of the agent or the team member that helped you. Okay? So write that you're a client in the comments and let us know the name of the agent that helped you. We love to see that, and then share that with our team members.
Good. I want to add something to what David said. When you call our office and ask to speak to one of our agents, they are going to be, number one, they'll be patient with you. They'll go through and talk about all your options. We do not push any particular plan. We want to find out what your needs are, your budget, and all those kind of things. So we will give you all your options. I will tell you the majority of agents, not all, but the majority today, push Advantage plans because Advantage companies pay us twice the commission. They pay us more money. And so agents want to push those plans. Why? Because commissions are higher. We will not do that, and we do not do that. We write Advantage plans because they're the best fit for people sometimes. But we're going to tell you about both because you have to live with the consequences of that choice. And so whether Robert or whoever it is you call in, we'll make sure that we'll give you a thorough explanation of everything available in your market.
Okay. Under Part D, 2025, is the maximum cost for all prescribed medicine $2,000?
As long as it's in formulary, that is true. And as long as you're getting it, through the plan. If you get some of your meds out of, Canada, or you get some kind of state assistance, that's not going to include in the $2,000. So yes, maximum $2,000, not including premium, but it has to be in the formulary.
Okay. How do you tell what specific drug is on a plan's formulary?
Okay. What you should do is go into our site. Josh will teach about that tomorrow, or wherever if you went to Medicare.gov. I don't think that's a very easy site to navigate, frankly. But when you look at drug plans, you actually put in your medication, and then it will show you if it's in formulary or not. That's
Yeah.
the way it's done.
Yeah, if
So
you
you
join
have
our live stream Monday to Thursday at 1, I will show you how. I can show you how to do it in about 5 minutes to make sure your your drugs are all covered by the formulary. It's very easy to do. But you do have to use the software.
Yeah,
The one that we use, and let's put this up here, is called MedicareSchoolEnroll.com, MedicareSchoolEnroll.com. If you want to write that down, we'll leave that up on the screen for a minute. MedicareSchoolEnroll.com, you can go there, you can create an account, and this is what I show people on the live stream how to do. So you go there, you create an account, put in your medications, and it'll show you what the best plan is for your specific medications. Next year, you come back, you have a username and password, right? You look and see, have there been any changes to my meds? If there has, then you update that. Like, oh no, I don't take that one anymore, but I added this one. You put that in, click next, make sure your pharmacy is still the same pharmacy, click next again, shows you the plans, and the lowest cost plan for you is at the top. Click enroll, 5 minutes later, you're done. It's just a very easy system, and it's something that we've worked hard to really try to train all of our clients on how they can spend 10 or 15 minutes per year and make sure that they're on the correct prescription drug plan for the coming year, because you don't have to change your supplement plan, but you do need to review your drug plan.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, my question is, when choosing a Part D plan, drug plan online, and choosing your pharmacies, when you choose a mail order, what mail order companies are they referring to?
Yeah, they're referring to the mail order company that has agreed to work with that particular carrier. So Aetna has one, Healthcare is going to have one, Humana has a different one. So all these companies have selected their own mail order. That would be a preferred in-network mail order provider. You can go to another one, but you're going to pay more money. And it's very difficult. I would never do that. So I would pick a drug plan, and then whoever they are using to fill their mail order prescriptions, that's who you want to use.
Okay. Will Cigna merge with HSHC?
Okay, what's happening with that, HSHC is actually buying Cigna, $3 billion, and that is supposed to close the first quarter of 2025. So that's going to happen. So it really isn't a merger. They're buying them.
Okay, Joseph Jimenez says, my wife is on Social Security disability and long-term disability. She received pre-notice for Medicare cards. What are the best coverages? So I'm guessing she's probably under 65.
Okay,
Right.
okay. So what are the best coverages?
Likely
Okay.
going to be an Advantage plan.
Yeah. In most states, not all, most states, you can only get Advantage plans if you're coming into Medicare below 65. There are a few states that do require the insurance companies to offer supplemental plans. Sometimes they say the rates have to be the same as someone 65. Other times they say you can charge what you want. So it really depends on what you're eligible, whatever state you live in. Okay. And so whenever her Medicare A and B goes into effect, and I think that's what you're talking about as far as the notice, then you call us and we can tell you exactly what are her options in your state. Okay, so it does vary state to state.
Okay. How long before you need a drug plan do you sign up? Husband is still working but retiring soon.
Okay, well, what I would do is, let's say your husband's going to work until 12/31. Then I would have the drug plan start 1/1 of 2025, and you can select those up to 3 months in advance of the retirement date. That's a very good window. And if your husband is going to start 1/1/2025, all the drug plans are out now, so you could be making that decision right now.
Jing Limson, I'm 62 years old on Medicare disability and Medicare Advantage plan. I do not qualify for SUP as I'm under 65. When I turn 65, will I be able to go to traditional Medicare and a supplemental plan?
Yes, you will. We actually call that your IEP 2. Your IEP 1 was when you received your Medicare A and B cards because of your disability. But when you turn 65, you basically can reset the clock. It's a wonderful opportunity. You won't have to go through medical underwriting. You can get a supplemental plan of your choice. There will be no additional charge on that. It'll just be the normal turning 65 rate. And again, it'll be a guaranteed issue. So call us and we can help you with that for sure at the right time.
Cheryl, do you have to be approved on the Part D plan?
No. As long as you're enrolled in A or B, and you live in the plan service area where that plan's offered, you can enroll into a Part D plan.
I am currently with UHC Advantage. How do I get the copay protection plan?
Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
call the 800 number there, the 833 number. It's on the screen. Call in and tell the receptionist that you want to talk to someone about a copay protection plan, and we can make those arrangements for you. Okay, happy to do it.
Kathy Harrison says, currently on A and still working, just to verify I don't need to do B, Part B, until I retire.
Exactly right. Yeah. What I would do, Kathy, is when you know you've set your retirement date, let's say you're going to stop working 12/31, then you would want to start your Medicare B 1/1/2025. So as soon as the employer plan terminates, your Medicare goes into effect. And you should settle that paperwork up anywhere from about 60 to 90 days in advance of your retirement because there is a process. And we'd be happy to walk you through that entire process.
Okay, Rachel Love says, I'll be 65 in March. I'll be covered under my employer plan until I retire in December 2026. Should I do anything?
Okay, Rachel, you don't have to do anything unless your employer has 19 or fewer employees on the payroll. So 19 or fewer employees on the payroll, you have to enroll into A and B because your employer plan only pays second. So I'm assuming you work for someone that's a large employer, 20 or more employees on the payroll. You don't have to do anything at all. Now, I think it is fine to enroll in A only as long as you don't have a health savings account that you're contributing to. Those are called HSAs. So when people have HSAs and they're going to keep working and want to continue to contribute to the HSA, I tell them to do nothing with A or B. And you won't be penalized either. But if you don't have an HSA, then when you turn 65, even though you're going to keep working, I would enroll into Medicare A only. Now, it only pays second to your group plan, but it could pay something eventually. And then you're also in the system. You got a Medicare card, so it makes it a little bit easier to come into B whenever you do decide to retire.
Okay. Hi, I'm 69 from Florida. I have Medicare A, terminated work in this April. I do not take any prescription drugs. What can be my best options? What is the deadline to enroll for Med B?
So terminated work in April, so we'll assume it's going to be sometime in April. We'll go May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay, you have to enroll no later than December for a January 1 start date because you have 8 months of your employment end date where you still qualify for an SEP. But listen, you want to do it ASAP. I would start that right now, and the reason for that is because even if you have COBRA, you're in the first payer position if you don't have Medicare B. I know it looks like you have A but not B, so you need to get that B going really, really soon. Because that COBRA plan is only going to pay second. So you'd be responsible to be the first payer on everything on the B side of Medicare, which if you had a surgery, the surgeon, the anesthesiologist, so you are not in a good position. So I would be applying for that B right now, this month, and I'd had that thing start November the 1st. I would. Yeah, you're just in a very, very risky position. But officially, to answer your question, it's 8 months after the employment provided coverage ends.
And will he have or she have a drug plan penalty? Probably.
Well, if they're covered by COBRA, they would.
Oh,
COBRA's credible, so they would not. Yeah.
Bill Edwards, is Armour Thyroid prescription covered? No, I don't think by any drug
It's
plan.
not. I've never seen it covered before because it has natural ingredients in it. Medicare, pretty much everything's synthetic on the meds. So.
Sherry W. says, I called in July and signed up with one of your people, but when I wanted to speak to them again, the receptionist told me I have to have a new person. I thought I could speak to the same person. So let me explain this. Here's what we have done that we found out that works really well. So we kind of have like a new client or a sales side that brings onboards new clients, and then we transfer them off to a customer support team. And they are the ones that you really are able to talk to. They're licensed in all 50 states. They're trained by Marvin. They understand just as much as the other side of the house. But they are not quite as busy with bringing on new clients, and they really have time to slow down and take care of you. And so you're assigned that side of the house to really take care of your coverage from here on out as long as you're a client. And they do a great job.
Right. Yeah.
So you can feel confident is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whoever on our team that you talk to will
Yeah.
be able to take care of you.
Yeah, exactly right. Sherry, that system does work very, very well because our agents are back-to-back appointments all day long, and so it can be frustrating trying to get to them, but it's not frustrating getting customer service because they're always available. So, just call in and ask for them. They'll take care of you.
Okay. Joseph Young, I have also noticed one of my drugs is also not covered at all on some plans, and the results that I get for Part D plans and the out-of-pocket max is way over $2,000 a year.
Oh, boy.
I've been noticing that too.
Yeah, so there's just nothing other than try to get on a different medication, maybe go to the
So in
manufacturer.
other words, the max only works if it's covered.
If it's in formulary,
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
Trying to decide between a MedSup plan between United Health and Anthem Blue Cross, is one company better than the other?
I would say as far as customer service goes, I don't think there's any difference. Now, remember, as far as coverage goes, they're identical because they all have to cover the same services. They have to pay the same bills, same type of bills, and same amount of bills. So almost everything is similar. What I would look at if I were you would be the stability of the rates. And what I found, in fact, I just had a call yesterday from one of my clients out of St. Louis. And we actually shopped their rates, reshopped them. Husband was on a plan. I just wrote the wife. And Anthem in St. Louis was still very, very competitive. In some markets, we've seen Anthem not quite as competitive. So what I would do is look at how they are initially, and then let us do some research for you to look at the stability of the rates. Now, what I have found in my career, Josh and I started this company over 15 years ago, what we have found is that when people are on United Healthcare plan, typically when they've been on it 10, 15 years, their rates have really done well versus some of the other carriers. So long-term stability of United Healthcare, I think, has been very good. Okay, but again, Anthem's a great company. You can't go wrong there, honestly. And just remember, if you go with United Healthcare, you do have to be a member of AARP for 1 year to go with them.
Okay, let's see. I take only Tier 1 generics. If I should get cancer or have a stroke during the year and the medications prescribed are not in the plan D I choose, what do I do?
Yeah, you try to get those added to the formulary, your formulary for that year, called the formulary exception. I will tell you, it's pretty uncommon where those wouldn't be covered, but when it's not covered, that's when you ask for the formulary exception.
Josh, sorry, I read a funny comment. It's like watching LeBron James and LeBron James Jr., but only Medicare. Okay, thanks.
We'll take that as a compliment.
I guess I'm brawny. Okay, Josh Roof there at Medicare School got my wife and I signed up for G and D plans today and helped us with Medicare forms. Thanks very much, and I highly recommend Josh. That is not this Josh.
Yeah.
That's actually my brother-in-law, Josh.
My son-in-law, exactly right. And I'm sure he paid you to write that. Now, he does a great job. Very, very good agent.
I have an Advantage plan diagnosed with stage 3 kidney disease. Would I be covered if I ever have to go on dialysis?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Advantage plan will definitely cover your dialysis. Now, you're going to have some out-of-pocket expenses, but you, at the worst case, you'd hit your max out-of-pocket on the plan for the year. So they'll cover dialysis. Not 100% though.
Will retire in 2026, turning 65 in March. What do I do?
Okay, very good.
You don't do anything.
Yeah, nothing at all. Rachel, I was saying earlier that if you don't have an HSA, I would start your Medicare A only in March. And you can apply anytime after November 1 for a March A only. If you have an HSA, do nothing. But if you don't have an HSA, enroll in A only. And then when you get ready to retire in 2026, 3 months before the retirement date, contact us, whoever you're going to use, and we can walk you through that special enrollment process.
Okay. This is a good question. Also, if the drug company does a formulary exception, will it be considered in their formulary for purposes of the $2,000 cap?
Yes, it will. It will, because they added it to your formulary. So it's part of the 2,000.
I have an appointment with Josh Roof on Monday, turning 65 on Election Day. Good. He'll take great care of you.
That's good.
Okay. I'm a client. We cannot find my biologic medication on any formulary. What should I do?
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, and there are a lot of biologics that are not covered. So I am sorry to hear that. I mean, only thing I would do. Well, here's what I would do. I would call the person that you get the biologic medication from, the pharmacy, and ask them if they know of any program or any way that gets covered by people that are on Medicare. I'd start there, just see if you can get some advice and see what they have to say. And if it's a low cost biologic, you may just have to be out of pocket on it because it could be well worth it. But it's expensive, then I would then go to the manufacturer and see if they have a special program. Some states offer pharmaceutical assistance with meds, so you do have a couple options.
If on an Advantage plan, can a doctor go out of network at any time of the year or a hospital?
Absolutely. Yeah, they can. And we see this sometimes kind of mid-year. They will actually just drop the Advantage plan. They cancel their contract with the Advantage company, primarily because of low pay, slow pay, no pay. We had a lot of providers this year that dropped Advantage plans because they weren't getting paid, or the Advantage plan would do a prior approval and then approve something and then deny it during the claim process. And so it's very frustrating. I mean, lots of providers are dropping Advantage plans now.
My wife will be eligible for Medicare January 1st. We will be calling you tomorrow. I will not be eligible until May. My wife carries my coverage through her work. Is there any way I could be covered before May?
Okay. Yeah, we're rolling. One thing you could do is you could call us and we can give you some information about an Affordable Care Act plan, an ACA plan. That would be one option to cover you in that transition. And that would probably be number one. The other thing that you can do would be you could opt to have COBRA if it's reasonable to get you covered. And it may not be, and sometimes COBRA is very reasonable. So I'd find out those two things, what the COBRA cost would be, because you have the right to extend that coverage, actually 36 months, but in this area, in this example, you only need a few months. Or we can get you some information about other options.
Okay, let's see. Is the $3 plan just on medication? Yes, we're referring to a prescription drug plan through Cigna. Cigna, what was it called? Sabre?
Cigna RX Sabre.
Sabre, yep. Let's see.
Cigna has actually
Please
three
talk
plans.
about C-SNP plans.
Okay, I will. Okay, C-SNP stands for Chronic Special Needs Plan. A special needs plan is a type of Advantage plans. So there are just traditional Advantage plans. We call those MAPDs, Medicare Advantage with prescription drug plans. And the special need plans could be a C-SNP as chronic, which means you have some kind of a chronic condition. It could be heart issue, it could be diabetes. There's a variety of possible chronic conditions. And so this is a specially designed Advantage plan for people that have that chronic condition. And so what they try to do is they try to have an emphasis on helping you with that chronic condition. So if it's diabetes, they're going to have special things built within the plan to help a diabetic. If you have COPD and you're on a chronic SNP for that, then they'll have ways to kind of help you with your COP type issues. And the way it works is you enroll in the plan, and then we have to have a doctor or specialist that prove that you had that chronic condition within 60 days of the enrollment. We want to do it ASAP, but that's what allows you to stay on the chronic special needs plan and get those extra benefits. And then they have a thing called a dual SNP plan, which means you're Medicare and Medicaid eligible. Again, another type of a special need plan. And so they're good. They're good. Again, you're still going to be an Advantage plan, but they have beefed that up in areas of that particular chronic condition to help you with that disease.
If my employer stops providing my Advantage PPO plan, does that qualify me to opt into a Medigap plan without underwriting?
Okay, I would think so. Yeah, I would think you would be able to do that because the plan was dropped. I would say yes to that, Jeff. We don't see that happen a lot, but I think so.
Okay, Julie Heichman Marmarek inside of our Facebook group is asking, 68-year-old female retiring soon. My husband and I have been on my group insurance. We have applied for Medicare B a month ago and still have not heard anything. My husband is type 1 diabetic with a pump. No other medical problems. I have no medical problems and take one medication. What type supplement is best for him? I've heard from many that Advantage plans are, quote, the devil.
Yeah. Well, I would say, Julie, as far as your husband is concerned, I would definitely get him on a supplemental plan because as a type 1 diabetic, it could be very, almost impossible for him to get on a supplemental plan at a later date unless you live in New York or Connecticut or Vermont, Maine or Massachusetts. So if you live outside of those states, then I would get one when your group plan ends because he will not medically qualify usually as a type 1 diabetic. Now, that means if he takes too much insulin, if he's ever had a diabetic coma, if he's had retinopathy or retinopathy, all of those are declinable events for diabetics. Now, type 2 diabetic, that's typically not an issue, but type 1 can really be tough because you're insulin dependent. All right. Now, as far as you, if you want an Advantage plan, get one. I'm not a huge fan of them in most situations, unless people cannot afford a premium on a Medicare supplemental plan. I think long-term people are going to be the most happy with supplemental plans. But some people are happier just because they have no premium or they have a very low premium. So if that's your priority, keeping your monthly premiums down, then get an Advantage plan. What I'd rather look at is the long haul. What's it going to cost me if I have cancer, if I have a heart issue or something else? So that's the way I would view that decision, depending on what's important to you.
Okay, question. If I get my tier 3 drugs out of Canada, is that on a pay yourself basis and not part of the drug plan?
Definitely not on the drug plan. It doesn't count to the 2,000 at all. So anything not in formulary, out of the country, all that doesn't count.
What is the annual Medicare sup deduction?
Okay.
Maybe she means like Part B deductible.
Yeah, Part B deductible this year is $240. $240, and we don't have the new numbers for 2025 yet. We're anticipating them soon, but $240 once a year you meet that B deductible.
I will be 65 in 2025. My health plan is covered by my employer. Since I retired in 2023, should I stay with my current health plan?
Well, it just depends on what you're paying for that plan. You're going to have to go on A and B as soon as you turn 65, and then what you're saying is, can your retiree plan serve as secondary to Medicare? And the answer to that is yes. So the question is, how is it going to pay second to Medicare? In other words, what out-of-pocket expenses are you going to incur as far as co-payments, co-insurance, deductibles, and what does it cost you to be on that plan? So if your employer is providing that for you at zero and it ends up being a great plan, then I would definitely keep the plan. So you're going to have to make a comparison between what's available on the Medicare market versus your group plan. So we'd have to know more, but we'd be happy to make that comparison with you. Just get the details on the plan and we'll tell you what's going on with Medicare and you can decide what's best.
Jules, is there any supplement plan company that accepts vascular dementia diagnosed seniors?
No. If you're going to go through underwriting and you have dementia, you're not going to get approved.
Okay. Agree with Wellcare's customer service being poor. I was unable to get answers. They could not understand what I was asking. Customer service was very nice, but could not help due to lack of understanding. Yeah, and we've heard this a lot.
Yeah.
That's why we're telling people, if you want to get on a drug plan that's still supported by brokers, offered through brokers, join my live stream on Monday, and I'll show you how to get one. Explain or link how copay protection plans work. So I'll explain it again. I did it a minute ago, but really the two of the big things that can really mess you up when you're on an Advantage plan is getting cancer, because you're going to have to hit that maximum out of pocket almost guaranteed, which in many plans, I mean, we're seeing plans almost as high as the MOOPs this year, like $10,000.
Yeah.
They've gone up a lot this year. So if you get cancer, you could be on the hook for a $10,000 maximum out of pocket. What happens if that happens in December? When you first get diagnosed, you hit it. January, you're still under treatment. Now you've had $20,000 worth of medical bills within the span of 60 days. So cancer can be very expensive on a Medicare Advantage plan. Another thing that can be very expensive, obviously, is hospitalizations. If you're on a plan that's a $300 copay for the first 6 days and you're in for 10 days, right, you're going to come out with a couple $1,000 bill minimum. And so what we do is we recommend people, alongside of their Advantage plan, they get something that we call a copay protection plan. And it basically covers you in the event of cancer or hospitalizations, and you can add some other bells and whistles to it if there are other things that you're specifically concerned about. And so for $35, $40 a month, you have a plan now that sits beside your Advantage plan, and should you get cancer, it's going to cut you a check for $5,000, $7,000, $10,000, whatever you want it to be. Same thing with hospitalization. And so we will match that maximum out of pocket for cancer and then that hospital copay together and kind of custom build you a copay protection plan. So you, for $35 or $40, have those big things taken care of.
That's right. Yeah, it's not for your specialist visits and things like that, but it is for the big items. And because, frankly, most people do not have the money set aside to meet that max out of pocket. In fact, 65% of all people don't. So if you're one of them, you definitely would want a copay protection plan.
Okay, clients, here we go. Robert LaFrenz, Andrew help me, I'm a client. Diamond, client with Ian, Nick Oberly, I'm a client with Aaron Butler, customer Mark Abkemeyer. Client by Zach Willems, client Josh Roof, Dylan Blank, Steven Swanson. Awesome. We love seeing these. Let's answer a question
Good.
here.
All right.
For those who are enrolling in Medicare during IEP, please explain guaranteed rights issue switching from Advantage to Supplement. Do the start dates of A and B have to be the same?
Okay.
Talking about
okay.
trial right
Yeah,
stuff.
talking about trial right. Okay. So in most states, for you to have the true trial right, for those of you who don't know what that means, it just means you went on Advantage plan first. You started that at 65, and then you decide you want to return to original Medicare. You can do so within the first 12 months. And in most states, it is true, your A and B dates do have to be the same. There are a few states that tie it to the B date, but again, that's not the norm. So as far as the federal guidelines, if those A and B dates start, they are the same, identical. So I start 10/1/2024, 10/1/2024 on the B, then I would have a full 12 months trial right to come back to original Medicare, get a supplemental plan with no underwriting. Okay, but beyond that, so we tell people if they don't match up, you're probably not gonna have a trial right.
Okay, Dan Kurtz, a couple of weeks ago, I signed up for the free RX shopping and received a confirmation. When can I expect to receive the email with your recommendations? We're hoping to get them out very, very, very soon. Our goal was to have them out this week. It looks like it's going to be next week, but don't worry, you're on the list. We'll get to you. We haven't forgotten about you. Let's see, both my clients. Let's see. I worked with Darren. Trying to scroll through, find us some other things. Okay, my drug plan Mutual of Omaha RX Essential will no longer be offered. Yeah, if you are on a drug plan that is through Mutual of Omaha, you do need to change plans. And so all of those plans pulled out of the market. So join my live stream at 1 o'clock every day. I'll show you how to, yeah, I got it. I'll show you how to do that. And then recommendations, I hope to be sending the end of this week, which would be tomorrow, or next week. Can we sign up for a prescription drug plan from your website, MedicareSchoolEnroll.com? Yes, absolutely. Use that anytime. Every day, Monday to Thursday at 1 p.m. I will walk you through how to do it and give you live drug plan recommendations. I'm a client. Randall Billings is my agent. Okay, hang on. Let's see. Please read your annual notice of change. This is a good point. So why don't we talk about ANOX for a moment?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll talk about it. I've been talking about ANOX a lot lately. So an annual notice of change is something that shows up at your doorstep, hopefully, by the end of September or first part of October. And it's for your drug plan or your Advantage plan. And basically it says this is the plan that you're on and this is how it's changing. So annual notice of change. And if you're on a drug plan and wondering, do I need to switch? We tell people to look at three things. The first thing to look at is going to be a price increase or a premium increase on your drug plan. So we're seeing like some of the Wellcare plans have gone from $0 to $20. We're seeing Aetna SilverScript Smart or whatever it was called go from $7 up to about $40 or $50. So there's a big premium increase. It's a good idea to shop your plan. The second thing we would look at would be formulary changes. So a formulary is nothing more than a list of medications that drug plan covers. That's generally the biggest differentiator between how drug plans are structured. Why are there so many? Well, it's because there's different lists of medications that these drug plans cover. And so what you want to do is read that annual notice of change, and there's going to be a list of all the medications that the formulary is dropping for next year. And make sure none of your medications are on that list. And then the third thing to do is in that same ANOC, it's going to talk to you about are there any changes within tiers. So generally speaking, there's 5 tiers. Tier 1 and Tier 2 are generics. Tier 3 and Tier 4 are brand. And then Tier 5 would be specialty medication. So if you're on a medication that maybe last year was a Tier 3, that moved up to a Tier 4 this year, it's probably going to come with a higher cost sharing, right? So you're going to have to come out of pocket more. So premium, medication being dropped, or formulary changes really give you a good boost to say, hey, I need to switch plans. And you can go to MedicareSchoolEnroll.com to do that. You can also go to a website called AEPHQ. AEPHQ. Stands for Annual Enrollment Period Headquarters, and it's a site that we've designed just for our clients, really, to be able to learn about the plan changes for next year. And you can choose. I have an Advantage plan. I have a supplement plan. I have a drug plan. And from within that, you can watch videos of Marvin, see a bunch of frequently asked questions for what do I do during this time period if I have this type of plan, and then get links to schedule appointments with our team. So check out AEPHQ. HQ.com stands for annual enrollment period headquarters.com.
And if you didn't receive your ANOC, or maybe you lost her, threw it away, you can call the insurance company, the number will be on your card, and tell them to mail you one, and they will. And you're not in a panic mode here, folks. This enrollment period goes through December 7th. I would get on it, but don't panic about it right now, so get the ANOC.
Okay. Do all supplemental plans have the same premiums?
No, not at all. They all have the same coverage, so when you buy a G, the coverage among the carriers is identical, but the premiums are going to vary. They will. They're going to vary anywhere from $20 a month to $50 a month, depending upon the company. Yep. So the Medicare sets the standardization of the plans themselves, but not the rates.
Okay, Lisa Mint says, did all or most of the drug plans increase their prices this year?
I'd say the majority of them did.
Not all.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure not all.
Okay, how much difference does your choice of pharmacy have on a price of a prescription drug? Used to be more. It's gotten a little more standardized. I've just done so many of these lately.
Yeah.
It does matter though, for sure. So what we, like in our shopping tool, you're able to add 3 different pharmacies, and then you can quickly click through and compare pharmacy 1, 2, and 3 and the mail order option to see which is the best. But these pharmacy networks have gotten pretty somewhat standardized almost at this point. They're very big, and as long as you're going to a big box pharmacy, they have the same prices a lot of the time. Not always. Yeah. Okay, Jim Cleveland said, are GAP plan payments charged per person, i.e. husband plus wife?
Both
yes,
of you.
You're going to have an individual Medigap plan. There's no joint or group Medigap plans. However, most of the carriers will offer you a discount if both you and your spouse are on the plan. Some carriers offer a discount if you live with someone who's over 18. They don't even have to be on the plan. Right. But they're always individual plans.
Mm-hmm. And the people I wrote today, right before I came in this live stream, they went with the company that offered a 20% household discount. They were both with the same carrier, 20%. Yep.
Okay, my question is, I go on Medicare A and B, then choose a Medigap supplement plan. Can I change the Gap company every few years? Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's usually a good idea. Most people don't change every year, but we see people changing Medigap plans every 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. Just because as that book of business that you're in, usually that kind of gets packaged up, and then you're with this older population that is oftentimes usually having some more health issues, so those premiums start to go up. So as long as you stay healthy, you can hop out into a new book of business with younger, presumably healthier people, get oftentimes a price reduction, and kind of start the process all over again.
Reset the clock. So I think it's smart. And Roberta, the way it works with our clients, you just call in, and your call will go to our customer service team, and we'll run those rates for you and let you know what's available and walk you through that entire process. That's the service we provide for all of our clients.
Okay, Belinda Cherney says, drug plans, is the deductible $590 part of the $2,000 out-of-pocket cost, so $590 plus $1,410 equals $2,000, or is it $590 plus $2,000 equals $2,590?
$590 plus $1,410.
Okay.
So the $2,000 includes the deductible, for sure.
How does one keep up with all these program hoops we got to jump through to meet the enrollment and change periods and not be penalized?
Okay. Well, have a good broker, Janice.
Call the number on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, really. We stay on top of everything. And we keep our folks abreast to what's happening. So that's part of our job for you.
Gideon Wolf, any idea when we will get a response with a recommendation for Part D? I thought we were supposed to get a response on the 21st. We are working on it to get them all out. There was thousands of you. So hoping next week we'll get it out to you. Never fear. You have until December the 7th, and we'll absolutely have it out long before then.
Yeah, and that was our goal, and we'll get there. Very sorry. Bruce,
you always join every live stream. Welcome back. I have a client for 3 years. Jordan Ott is my advisor. I believe he has passed on. Thank you for your advice. Greatly appreciated. Yes, he has passed. He was a great guy. Yeah. Let's see. Even though I have a drug plan, I pay a lot less using GoodRx coupons. That's always a good idea. Yeah. Right? Double check. Now, I wouldn't use a GoodRx coupon if you're going to save $2 or $3, right? Because all of a sudden, you're not putting that through your drug plan to go towards that maximum out of pocket, right? You're just paying out of pocket. But I was looking at a of medication a day for somebody on a drug plan, and they could save like $300 by using a GoodRx coupon. So guess what? They're going to use a GoodRx coupon. They're not going to get that filled through their drug plan.
Yep, that's good.
Barbara Douglas says, I'm a client and Karen Miller helped me with my plans. I had an emergency surgery in February, and with my supplemental plan, I only had to pay the Medicare one-time fee for the entire process. So you're probably on a G plan,
Yep.
right? So you had your annual deductible, you paid it, and that was it. The drug plan
Good.
picked up everything else.
It's good to hear, Barbara. Yep.
Okay. Trying to find some good questions here that we haven't already answered. We're over 65. Does a husband and wife generally go on the same plan, or should we be calling asking for help separately? No, call in, schedule an appointment. We'll take care of both of you at the same time.
Together.
Yeah.
You're gonna have individual plans, but there are household discounts, multi-policy discounts, and we can take care of that process together. Yeah.
Are there any risks at age 69? So Ray Hugel said, are there any risks at age 69 associated with switching to my company's plan from my wife's? She's retiring in 2025. It sounds like he's going to continue working.
Yeah. No, there's not. The only risk would be is you don't want to go without any time where you're on an employer-provided plan. That's the only risk. So make sure when you make the transition, there's no gap at all. That could be a problem. So if you get off of hers and go on to yours the very next month, everything will be fine. And then when you do get ready to go on Medicare, we would have to verify that you've had coverage with both of those employers. So it would take 2 L564s, but no risk. The risk is going without.
Okay. In 2022, I had surgery for heart valve replacement and breast cancer. I have the golden ticket to get into original Medicare. I've decided on the plan, but struggling with choosing a carrier. So I'm guessing aging into Medicare, right? Yeah. So trying to choose a supplement plan carrier.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, Dinah, I would just call our office and ask to speak to an agent. And then what we'll do is we'll look at the companies that are in your market, and we're going to look at a couple things. We're going to look at the initial premiums the companies are charging, and then also the stability of the rates by each of those carriers. And we're happy. That information is not available to people that are consumers. You have to be on the inside really to get that, and we do. And we're happy to share all that with you.
Okay. If my wife has insurance on me till 2026, but I retire this December at 65, do I need A and or B?
Okay, as long as your wife's plan is active employment, then no, you don't have to. And again, as long as her employer has 20 employees on the payroll or more, then you're not required to do anything at all. So active employment, 20 or more, nothing.
Okay, I'm meeting with Steven next week. Is he an agent? Yes, and he is a joy and a delight to be with. So you'll have a good time. Great guy.
Yeah.
Do I need to go to the Social Security office to get on Plan B, or can you all do that in your office? Absolutely can do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to the Social Security office initially. Let us walk you through that process, the paperwork, and then once that paperwork is completed, then you will need to get it to your local Social Security office just to turn it in. You don't even have to have an appointment. You just actually drop the paperwork off. But let us help you get it all filled out correctly.
What are the typical rate increases for a SUP?
Okay. I would say prior to this year, we would see about 5 to 7%. And this year it's been more anywhere from about 7 to maybe 10 or 12%. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot more this year.
Yeah.
But we expect that to kind of stabilize next year.
Right.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and the reason for that was because all the companies really took a correction. Rates had been stable for a lot of years. But, so this year was probably an exception.
Good question, John Grigg. I'm one of your clients. Thank you. And you guys are great. Do I have to renew my plan annually, or will my plans automatically renew?
Okay. Well, if you're on a Advantage plan, it will automatically renew, or if you're on a drug plan, it will automatically renew. But as Josh said earlier, if you're on Advantage or a drug, don't let them automatically renew without you looking to see what's changing with the plan. That's why that annual notice of change, the ANOC, is so important. So if you're happy after you've read the ANOC with the changes, then yes, they'll automatically renew. Now, as far as your supplemental plan, it renews every month. Every month you make the premium, it just auto renews for your whole life. You don't have to do anything with that.
Albert, hi Rick. What is your advice for someone who lives close to their base doctor in a hospital, but specialists, cardiologists, etc., are at a hospital 60 miles away? One dropped Humana, the other dropped United.
Oh, boy.
Golly, probably get on a sup plan if you can.
Yeah, Albert, if you can get on a supplemental plan, if that's in the budget and you can still qualify to do that, that's probably the easiest way, because then you don't have provider issues. Medicare supplemental plans don't have a network. Anyone that takes original Medicare, you can go there, so that's nice. So if you can't do that, call in and tell us your situation, and then let's look at some of the other plans in your market to find out if we can get both of those doctors or all those doctors covered. And we'd take the time, Albert, to do that for you. So call in and we'll figure it out with you.
If I retire December at 65, my wife keeps insurance on me. Do I need A and B or just A?
Yeah, you can get by with A only as long as her group has 20 employees on the payroll or more. 20 or more on the payroll. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to do A. And if you have an HSA, I wouldn't do A. But if you don't have an HSA, I would do A only. Pick up B whenever she retires.
Finder of Lost Souls says, I have a Medicare A and B United Health Supplement Wellcare for meds. I'm going to lose my dental vision hearing coverage in February due to retirement. What are my options? Call us. There's that phone number scrolling along the bottom of the screen, 833-833-3661. Write it down, everyone. 833-833-3661. If you ever have a Medicare question, call us. We will do our best to assist you.
Yeah, and we write different dental plans throughout the country, so we can show you what your options are. Okay.
What is the means veterans use to identify any coverage we might be entitled to from or through the VA?
Okay. You of course talk to the Veterans Administration, and then if you've not jumped through the hoops yet to find out what you qualify for, you would have to actually make an appointment to go through that process. I think that's what you're asking. So call the VA, and they'll pull up your by your Social Security number, they'll pull up exactly what you may be entitled to. They'll walk you through that process and set up an appointment to see if there's any disability issues going on. Sometimes people get service-related disabilities that actually give them a much greater benefit. So find out what they're going to offer you, and then you'll know.
Do you charge for your services?
No, we are totally at no cost to you. We don't work for free, but you don't have to pay us. It's the insurance companies that always pay the agent, no matter whatever agent you work with. They're getting a commission that's paid by the insurance company, not you. And there's no extra either to use our services. We're, like Josh said, we've never sent one bill ever to a client, ever.
There are some clients we would have liked to.
That's true.
William Gregg says, once you do a formulary exception, do you have to ask for it again each year?
Yeah. Yes, I believe you do. So I would plan on that for sure, because the plans can change, year to year. So that's why I believe you have to do it each year.
Janet Berry says, I've been a client for 5 years. Thank you. Where do I find the login info to research the drug plan? So you can always call our office, and if we have it on file, we will give it to you. If not, you can just create a new account. Join the live stream on Monday, 1 p.m. Central Time, and I will show you how to create an account. It literally takes 15 seconds. And then I'll show you how to update your meds. And in fact, while on the live stream, if you tell me what your meds is, I'll do it for you and tell you what drug plan you should be on for next year.
Yeah, and if Janet, we probably set that drug plan up for you, so we should have in our records exactly what your login information is.
Yeah, 5 years ago, though, who knows?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Okay, what plans have best coverage for chiropractic adjustments?
Okay. Original Medicare and a supplemental plan will cover chiropractic adjustments. They will also cover, in certain situations, acupuncture. So that's one way. And so if you have, let's say, a Plan G, and once you've met your Medicare B deductible, as long as your chiropractor takes Medicare, then those adjustments would be fully covered by your G plan. Again, assuming you met your B deductible. If you're on an Advantage plan, some of those will also cover chiropractic adjustments, and then you would have some type of a copay. $20 or $30. I think the biggest issue would be finding a chiropractor that actually will take an Advantage plan. And so you'd have to check that out. And then, of course, there are a lot of chiropractors that will take original Medicare and your supplemental plan.
When I retire, Vera Wilkins says, when I retire and leave my company next year, am I eligible to stay on my dental vision plans through Cobra? I currently have Medicare B and UHC Sup G.
Yes, you are. You can normally Cobra in that scenario for 18 months on your dental vision. And then Vera, be sure that once you've Cobra'd that out, if the price is better than the market, then be sure when you move off that plan, you pick up a regular dental plan within no longer than 30 days of losing the Cobra coverage, because if you wait longer than that, then you would have some waiting period issues going to a new dental plan. But what you're doing is fine. Cobra it.
Am I correct in saying I can switch from an Advantage to a Supplement Plan G without underwriting because my Advantage plan was dropped or canceled?
And that is correct.
Does your client service team help with drug formulary exceptions and Medicare claims issues?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's why we have them for you. They can walk you through the process for sure. And yeah.
Okay, Frank Bywald says, switched supplemental plans from UHC ART Plan N to Cigna Plan N starting November 1st. When should I call UHC to cancel the plan? I called Cigna, and as of yet, I am not accepted yet, but was told by Cigna that even if I don't hear back from them before November 1st, it will still retroactively go back to November 1st, so I will be covered from November 1st on. I was signed up by one of your reps 2 weeks ago. I want to cancel UHC before November 1st so I don't have to pay for the month of November.
Okay.
It's a little risky.
Yeah, it's a little risky to do that. Yeah, so I don't like that. So what I would do, here's what I think. If you don't have a decision, and it is true, by the way, that it will be retroactive, but if you don't have an underwriting decision by that point in time.
Looks like it's a GI. Connecticut.
Okay, all right. Yeah, well, even if you were to cancel, then the United Healthcare plan, you still have 30 days of grace. So if you cancel it effective November 1, and you still haven't heard, let's say by it's middle of November, you can always reinstate that policy because of 30 days of grace.
Here's something that's probably the best thing. If you haven't heard by November 1, can he call and switch to direct bill? Just remove your banking details from the United Healthcare plan. So they're going to send you an invoice and then just don't pay it, but you have 30 days of grace. So that buys you an extra 30 days. You don't have to pay for your UHC premium because you're just going to switch to direct bill because you don't want to come out of your banking account anymore.
That'd be fine too.
That'd be what I'd do. Okay, I work for a larger corporation, may retire next year. My employer is charging $86 a month for an Advantage plan this year. You also have to pay $50 more for a dental plan. I've heard Advantage plans shouldn't have a premium.
No. The majority of the normal market Advantage plans, actually 60% of them, don't have a premium. When an employer offers it, that's called a waiver plan. And what's happened is that employer has negotiated with that Advantage company to offer that as a benefit to you. And so the only reason, number one, you better make sure you want an Advantage plan, because even if it's an employer plan or a normal market plan, you still have networks, you still have pre-authorizations, you still have issues with that. But I would venture to say that if you can find a market plan that has a zero premium plan, that's going to be better than having to spend, almost $1,200 in monthly premiums in the year.
In like my experience, the reason people may stay on those corporate Advantage plans, and it's hard to say without comparing the summary benefits side by side, but sometimes they have a little better drug coverage. But with this new, like for expensive meds, but with this $2,000 cap, that kind of erases that. So yeah, it used to be we'd pull people off those all the time unless they were, eligible, because they used to be more popular. Unless they were on some expensive, unique medications, and then we might tell them to stay there. Okay. Under Cigna, your website, some drugs have a QL designation of 30. Does this drug have a quantity limit? Does that mean I cannot get a 90-day supply?
Okay. Well, not necessarily. If the QL says 90 tablets and you take one a day, that would be a 90-day supply. But if it says, let's say it's 60, QL 60, and you take two a day, that's going to be a month's supply. So Medicare puts restrictions on certain medications, expensive ones, addictive ones, And so if it's a QL, that pharmacy is not to put any more pills in that bottle than that. But again, some people take 1 a day and other people take 3 a day. So that same 90 pills is going to last people a different amount of time. So, but the rules are still the same.
Sherilyn Lee Reed says, thanks for the info. I'm in PA and went with the sup plan in with Aflac, underwritten by Aetna. If I can't afford the supplement plan, can I go on an Advantage plan, and will I need Medicare approval? You won't have to have like underwriting approval, but the time to do that would be now,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
Yeah, it's going to be during the annual enrollment period. That's when you'll be able to drop that supplement plan, enroll in an Advantage plan.
That's correct. It's the only time. This period of time, October 15th to December 7th.
When is the best time to join Medicare? If I qualify in April, still working, should I just take D? Should I take first D, just prescriptions? I'm not sure what you mean. But if you qualify in April.
Yeah, then anytime after January 1, you can enroll into Medicare. But if you're still working, I wouldn't do that if you have a good group plan and there's more than 20 employees on the payroll. You would probably just want to take A only. But as I've said earlier, if you have an HSA, don't take A, don't take B. But if you don't have an HSA, then enroll into A only, don't take B, and pick it up at a later date. And we always encourage people to be sure to compare your Medicare option with your employer option, because sometimes Medicare is a better option. So take the time to do that, and we'd be happy to walk through that process in comparison with you.
Gideon Wolf says, what's the cutoff day for changing Part D?
December the 7th would be the last day, and I wouldn't do it then.
If I choose original Medicare, is there a supplemental plan that offers dental and vision?
Okay.
Yeah, call us.
Yeah.
We're happy to help you with the sup plan and a dental and vision plan.
Yep.
Peter Barron, how to join you tomorrow on your Facebook page, or do you have a link? That's a good question. Call into our office.
It's not tomorrow, though. It's Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday to Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. Call into our office. They'll get you on the list. Wait. We have a link.
This will be Monday.
This is Monday. So, okay, guys, pay attention. If you want to join me on Monday to learn about drug plans for next year, we're going to drop a link. Okay, we're almost done with this live stream. So grab this link, open it up, save it, copy and paste it, text it to yourself, do something with this. Okay, if you click on it and just leave the tab open, right? You can do that till Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or just, yeah.
So this is going to be the live stream link for Monday's live stream. Talk about drug plans. My retirement date is July 10th, 2025. Do I have to wait until the end of July to be covered by Part B? No. July 1st is when you'll be eligible.
That's right. It's the month that you turn 65. Unless you're born on the first day, then it's actually the previous month. So if your birthday is July 1, they start you in June. So July 1, you will start.
This is a good point. We're going to do another thing, just in case you're not able to save that link or whatever. Go to Facebook, go to groups, and search for Medicare School. We have a group with about 50,000 people in there. My live stream every day, Monday to Thursday at 1 p.m. Central, talking about drug plans, is always hosted in that Facebook group. So you can go right there. We're going to drop the link in the chat. So click on that. It should open you up in Facebook. Click join group. Got to answer a couple questions. We don't really like a lot of sales agents in there. So we're going to boot you out if you're a sales agent. Just heads up, that's coming. Because we want it for people to really interact with other people who are on Medicare, not be spammed by dozens of sales agents trying to sell you plans. It was disrespectful. Sorry. Okay. This is going to be our last question. Is IRMA fee only charged on sub plans or on Advantage plans as well?
Okay. Kathy, IRMAs do not apply to supplemental plans at all. IRMAs apply on Medicare Part B as well as Part D. And so about Advantage plans, you would be paying IRMAs for both sides. So whatever your B IRMA is, and then you have a drug plan that's embedded within the Advantage plan, so you'll pay it both ways. Got it? B and D, not subs.
Okay, y'all, we just answered that last question was posted 30 minutes ago. So we stay on this for 90 minutes answering questions. We're going to be back talking about drug plans Monday at 1 o'clock Central. We will also have another live stream Monday night at 5, but that is only going to be in the Facebook group. So you need to join that Facebook group. to see that Monday at 5 so you can get your question answered. If you want help with an Advantage plan or a supplement plan, making sure you're on the correct Supper Advantage plan for next year, call the number that's on the screen, 833-833-3661. We look forward to helping you. Thank you to all of our loyal clients.
And then next Thursday.
Next Thursday we'll be
back.
back here again. We're doing a lot of these all throughout AEP to try to just get everyone answers and information. Appreciate you all. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.